What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Swift Sunday here on Patreon. So we are doing the Swift Effect. This is going to be episode 3, the Swift Economy. So obviously these don't really have Taylor Swift in them, but it has, what Taylor Swift and how she affects like different things in the world and, touches people's lives without even like realizing it or trying to do it even, it just happens because she's Taylor Swift and she, in the last episode she brought like a father and a daughter together that, have never watched football together before, but she brought them together somehow, which is a really cool story. So if you guys haven't checked out the previous episodes, go check those out. But I'm gonna hop into this. It's called the Swift Economy, and let's see what happens. You guys, let me know in the comments below what else I should check out for Taylor or Swift Sunday on Patreon here, and let me know also what Jeremiah and I should check out for YouTube. But let's get into it.
No other artist in the
There's only one thing people here in Miami are talking about, and that is the return of the Eras Tour. Fans tell me it's already shaping up to be a weekend of their wildest dreams.
Am I about to do this?
It was an awesome performance.
Am I about to do this?
Treat yourself, you deserve it.
Hold on, I am literally buying tickets as we speak. Is it your first time seeing Taylor Swift? Yes, and I can't wait. Okay, continue. Just go run to them and have them finish. We have 9 minutes to get these tickets. Oh, Christina! Yes. I'm buying tickets. I got very inexpensive tickets for 4 people. Not that inexpensive. Yes. So go. There. It's $1,400 a pop, but it's still better than what it was. I'm spending upwards of $6,000, but it's for 4 people on my team. Is that insane? Should I not? I could get cheaper ones that are behind the stage.
No. Done, we're going.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Our tickets weren't that expensive. And
I can't believe I just secured tickets. I'm so excited. My team especially, I'm excited to gift my team this opportunity. They have been so amazing in getting this together. Taylor's she's an icon.
Taylor Swift's draw and the draw for concerts are so huge that it's not just about the ticket sales. People would fly in to see her perform, they would rent hotel rooms, and by one estimate, the impact of Taylor Swift's first 53 concerts on the US economy was $4.3 billion.
That's crazy.
If Taylor Swift's tour was a nation, it would be the 156th biggest economy in the world based on GDP comparisons. That is bigger, by the way, than the economies of countries like Belize.
When I looked at the numbers for Glendale, right, she brought in more than the Super Bowl when it was in that same venue.
It was different types of spending. So when you look at something like restaurants, for example, the biggest increase in spending around the Swift Eras Tour were in the smaller cities. So Glendale, Arizona, where she launched, had some of the strongest gains, about 170% increase in restaurant spending relative to the baseline.
It says to me that there is an engagement level, and I think part of it is that the engagement level that you see at concerts and when she's in town is just a sort of an explosion or a burst of energy around what is sitting in the culture.
I'm Gisela Martí. I'm the SVP of Marketing and Tourism at the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. There's lots of buzz already in our town that Taylor Swift is coming to town.
The Taylor takeover has touched down once again in the U.S.
We love you, Taylor!
Many of our hotel partners, restaurants, and
We were
much
there
more
somewhere.
are really rolling out kind of all of these very unique Taylor Swift amenities that they can enjoy while they're in the destination. From cowboy making hats to trading friendship bracelets. So it's been really, really fun to really, kind of seeing that coming to life. We started gathering and we created a Taylor Swift guide to really inspire, concert goers, like when they come here, what are the things that they could do? And we know from the traffic on our site, that's garnered close to 20 million views of really potential concert goers really peeking in to see what are the cool things that they can do while they're in the destination.
Brightline is introducing a new era in travel, not just for the state of Florida, but this weekend specifically for all the Swifties, by introducing a first of its kind sing-along train experience to the big concert in South Florida.
That's crazy.
Concert goers are going to be immersed in a full experience, which starts at the station when they board either in Orlando, West Palm Beach, or Fort Lauderdale. There'll be photo ops at the station, special food and beverage options. And then, of course, once they board the train, we've introduced 5 different themed experiences throughout the train, each representing different eras in Taylor Swift's catalog.
They went all out.
Wrapped the full train that is heading to Miami for the concert tonight. We are so excited to see all the different activations come to life, from flash tattoo artists to hair tinselings, and of course, making friendship bracelets. I have been making these bracelets since 2013. I started it in my parents' basement, and it has been a labor of love for the last 11 years. So to be able to do it in this larger scale, inspired by Taylor, is a really cool thing.
Etsy tells us that since April, Etsy sellers have sold nearly $5.5 million in friendship bracelets. That's a growth of 30% on a year-over-year basis. And Michaels tells us that sales in their jewelry category, including jewelry making kits, surged 40% since mid-April, when the Swift friendship bracelet making trend really took off. Where is there not
That's
an
nuts.
effect? You know, like you'd have to be living under a rock to not get it. And even though I think a lot of people like resisted it, they're like, oh, she's just a pop star, she's just a singer, she's just a whatever. It's more than that.
Swift spent 6 nights at SoFi Stadium. The tour overall brought $320 million to LA, both directly and indirectly. According to California's Center for Jobs and the Economy, it created a $160 million increase in local earnings and added over 3,300 jobs.
Well, I mean, if you think about all the people who will come here just to go see her concert, so they're traveling from other cities, other states, other countries.
That's crazy. So if you think about it, you know, obviously Taylor Swift, she gets, you know, paid off the ticket sales and stuff like that. But she could essentially charge a city to go there and perform because the amount of money she's going to bring to that city. That's crazy.
Just to see the concert here. So you've got that impact on the local economy. You have the fact that Joann's and Michael's and all of these craft stores were selling out of the merchandise just to make their friendship bracelets. Those are things that will impact our economy probably for a long time.
So we know that she already added Florida and London, and all of us here in Miami are like, seriously, you added Florida and London? We know she had to have a reason. So I'm gonna ask you, and don't tell, and every time I've asked y'all to clown, y'all just sat there like lumps. So now I know that there's 190 of you in this class. Somebody in here has gotta be clowning with me. Why do you think she did that? What has she got planned for Miami? What do you think? She's gotta have something planned, right? Yes.
I think that it could be an Easter egg that all of the lights were green when she's saying Florida. So like reputation, I don't know, maybe Venusia's announcing it in Florida.
Could be.
It goes deeper than that too, because the people that were supposed to release their albums on October 18th were Shawn Mendes and Joe Jonas, both people who have connections to Taylor Swift, and they moved their album, meaning that if something was gonna happen, those two would know that something could happen October 18th in Miami. Fingers crossed.
So the class is called The Mastermind of the Taylor Swift Brand, and the class focuses on how Taylor Swift has built her billion-dollar brand. So I teach classes in advertising strategy development, branding, and also social media strategies for advertising and PR majors. And this class sort of was developed as, you know, a way to teach students how to use branding tactics, how to build brand loyalty, how to use social media to communicate, using Taylor Swift as the impetus for teaching that. I mean, she's built this billion-dollar brand doing all of these things. And what better way to get students engaged with these topics than using Taylor Swift as the foundation for it?
I mean,
so
that's a
was
good way to
walking
get
one day,
students in there,
thinking about teaching the classes I was going to teach in the summer. And all of a sudden, the idea for this class came into my head. And I took out my notes. And as I'm walking, I'm just writing down topics for the class. And by the time I was done with my walk, I had the entire outline in my notes and wrote to my department chair. And I said, hey, I've got this great idea for a class. What do you think about me teaching it? And she was really excited about it. And that was how it came about.
One of the things I find not only fascinating, but really, really just wonderful is that in this moment, as Taylor Swift is making history, there are professors and scholars who are studying these things and bringing students in to learn about them. So whether it's an economics class, a philosophy class, a communications class, a marketing class, there are so many different ways, or a songwriting class probably, right? There are so many different ways to think about the way Taylor Swift is impacting culture today that these classes are, I think it's wonderful to be able to get real-time knowledge, and it matches with what we're doing from a technology standpoint.
New York University had a blank space in their course offerings, and they wrote Taylor Swift's name. Students at NYU can now sign up for a class this spring semester all about Taylor Swift.
When I taught the class, at the time it was just because I wanted to teach this Taylor Swift class and do this, and didn't realize it was the first one to exist of its kind. Did not anticipate that people would care so much about the class until it was announced. And I saw several other sort of pop star specific classes start to pop up at different universities, and there's also been like a huge influx of Taylor Swift classes across the world.
Universities nationwide are teaching the Swift effect in departments from English to political science to gender studies.
It's difficult teaching a class about a pop celebrity, right? Because there's always going to be naysayers. Oh, you're going to teach a class about Taylor Swift? What kind of class is that going to be? You're going to have students learning about her lyrics, and you're going to have students learning about how she sings. And so, I went into this realizing that I had to make it an academic class. I teach classes that are very academic in nature, and I realized that Taylor Swift has built a brand. She's a business. And, you don't do what Taylor Swift does without understanding how to build a business, how to communicate with a target audience, how to build loyal fans. And there's certainly things that she has done and that her management team has done, her publicity team has done, her marketing team has done, that our students are doing every day when they go out into the industry.
Somebody asked me the other day that's one of my top 10 favorite songs. I love You're on Your Own, Kid. And we know she has sang that song as a surprise song multiple times on the tour. So it's definitely one that it resonates with her, right? She sings that song a lot. And of course, the fans picked up on that particular line, and then they started making these friendship bracelets. Make the friendship bracelets, take the moment and taste it. You got and it's something that, has become something at the concert. People share bracelets, they trade bracelets, and it's just something that it's camaraderie among the fans.
Mastermind. I strive to be like Taylor Swift.
That's crazy. That girl said, she's a mastermind, and the other girl next to her said, I strive to be like Taylor Swift. That is not a bad thing at all. That is just an amazing thing. Like I said multiple times, Taylor Swift is such an icon and an inspiration for not only girls, but for
more tornadoes touched down as Hurricane Milton was barreling through. One of those tore right through a local sheriff's office in Fort Pierce. At least 6 people have been confirmed dead from those tornadoes.
I just got finished fixing the storm from Ian.
We actually rode along with sheriff's deputies showing us just how many neighborhoods across Volusia County have all of this water.
Florida, especially South Florida, is always at risk of a hurricane every single year. Helene took a northwesterly turn, and Milton also took a northwesterly turn and did some damage not only to the west coast of Florida, but all across the eastern United States. So Feeding South Florida has provided hot meals to those evacuation centers for folks who are fleeing or evacuating the affected area, as well as folks in mobile home parks that are living here in South Florida, just in case any of the wind has a devastating impact on their homes.
A lot of people are trying to do what they can to help, and Taylor Swift actually among one of those stepping in.
She's donated $5 million for hurricane relief.
Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton, they caused extensive damage, and Taylor Swift recognizes that, and she always tries to help as much as she can.
This $5 million donation has gone to really help food banks provide assistance to those families who've been affected by the hurricane. Whether they've lost their homes, they're trying to clean up their homes, they're looking for places to stay. There's a lot of work that our families are going through. They need to stabilize, and Taylor Swift's donation is going a long way to help do that.
That's awesome.
It's probably one of the topics that the students really enjoy talking about the most, because Generation Z is a generation that really likes to contribute to brands that give back. And I think Taylor Swift is one of those artists that not only loves to give back, but she inspires other artists to do the same.
I think one of the reasons Taylor is so successful, aside from her talent, is that She genuinely is a really, really nice person. Ever since I've been interviewing her since, I want to say 2008, 2009, she's remained like the nicest individual, and she's not just kind-hearted, but empathetic and philanthropic, and she does so many things for so many people and helps them out, and her own crew, as I'm sure you've heard the stories.
People reporting the gifts in total exceeded $55 million. The superstar also extending her generosity to local food banks along her tour. While performing in Northern California last weekend, she made a sizable donation to Second Harvest Food Bank.
She does so much philanthropic work under the radar that I think just goes a long way, and I've always believed like nice things happen to nice people, and she's absolutely a nice person.
Taylor Swift has been an incredible donor to the Feeding America Network. Not only does she increase economic activity wherever she goes, from hotels to car rentals to restaurants to everything that she does, but she also reinvests in those communities, right? So her fan base invests in her, and she invests in her fan base's community. Anytime Taylor Swift has anything to do with any cause or any product, you're going to see an uptick, especially in social media. With over 240 million followers, you mention Taylor Swift's name in anything, you're going to see an uptick. And because of her generous contribution, we see an uptick in people wanting to get involved. We see an uptick in people's social media, how they want to follow, how they want to get involved, and how they want to learn more.
Yeah, it's definitely true, for sure.
You have turned this tour into an event. You've made up all these traditions. You're trading friendship bracelets. You know every single word to every single song. And so that's what makes it so much fun for me. And another thing is that, just curious, is there anyone here who has seen me in concert before?
The concept of friendship bracelets actually came from the fans, but it's a line from a song called "You're on Your Own, Kid," which is on the Midnight's album. And there's a line in it that says, "So make the friendship bracelets, take the moment and face it."
So make the friendship bracelets, take the moment and taste it. You got no.
And it's a very obscure line. It's not anything significant. It's not part of, a chorus or anything, but the fans just took that line and ran with it. And so there's friendship bracelets, and on the Eras tour, people just make these bracelets and they exchange them. That exemplifies the kind of joy that Taylor exudes in her concert. It's like it's that joy that's shared, not just from Taylor to her fans, but from one fan to another. And I think that's what the friendship bracelets just signify, is just the joy that Taylor Swift brings every single time she gets in front of an audience.
These are all traits that all CEOs should be emulating and embracing. And at the same time, her brand is authentic, it is consistent. Taylor Swift is all about maintaining that connectivity with her fans, not just right now, but for the long term. And those are lessons that would be really powerful for all businesses.
It's just kind of a little beacon of, you're wearing these bracelets and people see you're open to wanting to trade them if you're out.
Conversation starter.
Yeah, it's a conversation starter if you're out and about. You can get to know people you might not have talked to before. Kind of creating a bigger community for everybody to engage with everyone.
I would just thank her for bringing so much joy to so many people's lives, and I would thank her for bringing so much joy to my daughter's life and for helping to forge a bond between my daughter and me, because we always had a strong bond, but the Taylor Swift bond has just made it that much stronger. We share TikToks all day long about Taylor. We can, we listen to songs together. Taylor Swift has just given us one more way to connect, and so I would thank her for just giving my daughter and me something to have, that just connects us. I think she's done that for so many people. She's just given so many people a reason to be happy and joyful, and I would just tell her to keep going because what she's doing is amazing.
I didn't know that was in there. It ended like so abruptly. I thought it was just going to another commercial. But no, that's amazing. Once again, that gives her and her daughter something to bond about. It was really cool because my daughter was there with me at the concert as well, and you know, we started like singing the songs together, and it was really cool because we'd never done that before. So it was an amazing experience. So Taylor Swift does that for a lot of people without, you know, really even like she doesn't realize that. She doesn't realize what she does for other people, and I think she doesn't really try to let other people realize what she does for the communities, because you know, all those donations, it's not like she goes on her social media and be like, hey, I just donated this much. She does it under the radar because it's just something she wants to do. It's not something she wants to, you know, advertise that she's done to get people to like her or to get people to say, hey, this is what Taylor did. She does it all under the radar. And like I think it was the Feeding America person, he said that, you know, her fans invest in her and then she reinvests back into their community. And that's exactly what she's doing. You know, her fans buy the tickets, her fans buy, you know, the merchandise and stuff like that. And she gets proceeds from it. And then she takes a lot of those proceeds and she invests it back into the community by the Feeding America and, you know, a bunch of different other food banks around the country as well. And, you know, she takes care of her people, over $55 million in gifts, you know, given to her people for the concert and everything like that. The truck drivers, I remember seeing something about the truck drivers getting like a bonus, and it was just amazing. It's something that, you know, really nobody else ever does. And she has this whole I can't think of the word. I'm going to say entourage, but it's not really an entourage. It's more like a I can't think of the word. It's more like a bunch of cars that travel with you, but it's a bunch of trucks. And you know, she realizes that, you know, they took time away from their families and stuff like that to, you know, help her along on this concert, on this tour, and, you know, be there to put the stages up, to move the equipment, do all that stuff. And she took care of them. Like I said, you don't hear anybody else doing that. Taylor Swift is a very unique, one of a kind person. And like Mario Lopez says, is he believes nice things happen to nice people. And you know what? I can't say anything other than that. Taylor Swift is a very good and nice person. But next episode will be next week. That's the final episode, episode 4. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I think it's really cool hearing all this stuff of how she affects people's lives in different ways. But episode 4 next week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week.